Bonsoir, French students. Comment allez-vous? Salut! Various ways to say hello. You will see with our video 7 here of chapitre 3, we're going to be talking about two topics, les meubles et les couleurs. So, les meubles is furniture. So it's in English, furniture is a single word that refers to lots of different things. We call that a non-countable noun. In French, it's the opposite. Les meubles is a plural noun that refers to lots of individual things. So you'll see in this picture of a bedroom that we're going to be looking at different items, different pieces of furniture. And in a couple of slides later on, we'll be looking at the names for different colors in French, les couleurs. Okay, so the sentence up here says, Robert montre les chambres à Adam. So Robert is showing, and you can kind of see the connection of the verb montrer to the English verb demonstrate, because we have the M-O-N in the middle of demonstrate. So you can see the connection between those words. Oh, he shows his rooms to Adam. And so the various vocabulary words we have here, the first one is un placard, and that's a closet. Une commode is a dresser. Un tapis is a rug. In the middle here we have un poster. It's like the same word as English, just pronounced a little differently. So we have a poster on the wall. Des rideaux, curtains. Un bureau, which would be a desk. Un lit, which is the bed. And finally, une étagère, which is a bookshelf. And at the bottom we have a description of this room. So Robert says to Adam, voici ma chambre. So here is, and we've all heard that word voilà, we use it in English all the time, right? Like voila, here you go. Well, voici means here it is. So here it is, my room. Les murs are the walls. And it's showing you here that this is a masculine noun. You can't really tell from looking at it. It doesn't have a particular ending that would show you that it's masculine or feminine, so we need to know that. Les murs sont beige et le tapis et les rideaux sont bleus. Okay, so we're saying that the walls are beige. That looks familiar to us in English. And the rug on the floor and the curtains, both of them are blue. The French word for blue looks pretty similar, bleu. Et la La couverture, which would be the blanket on the bed. Some people call it a comforter, some people call it a bedspread, or just a blanket. La couverture est bleue, but notice here that this bleu, it's pronounced exactly the same way as this other bleu over here. The main difference is that this bleu is referring to a feminine noun, couverture, so we need to add an E to it. Over here, bleu has an S on the end because it is referring back to le tapis et les rideaux, which is a group of things. So with adjectives, you always have to be careful that you're looking out for agreement, whether it's for more than one thing, whether it's masculine, feminine, and sometimes even both. Okay, so la couverture est bleue, rouge et verte. Rouge, you may have seen or heard of this word before. I know growing up, my parents are from Ireland, and my mom always used to call what we call in the United States blush, like makeup blush to put on your cheeks. She would always call it rouge. And I think there must be some connection, maybe in Irish English, possibly even in British English, that people call that makeup rouge because it's adding redness to your cheeks. So it's kind of interesting to see those connections with language. Et verte. Okay, so the word for green in French is actually vert with just a silent T at the end. But since we're describing la couverture, it has to be in the feminine form also, which is verte. Rouge doesn't really change in this case. Okay, ma chambre est toujours propre et en ordre. Oh, my room is always clean and in order or organized. Tout est à sa place. So everything is in its place. Okay, so the perfect, neat, and tidy room. I don't think most of us always live that way, though, do we? Okay, so going on to our next scene. Obviously, things are a little bit different in this room. Oh, voici la chambre de Gabriel. So Gabriel is not quite as organized as Robert. Okay, sa chambre. So sa, remember, let's go back really quickly to the previous slide. Okay, we saw ma chambre, my room. So what do you think sa chambre would refer to? It's going back to Gabriel, right? So what do you think this would be? It has to be his, right? So his room est souvent un peu sale et en désordre. I think we can guess pretty easily what désordre means. Disorder, it's disorganized. Et souvent un peu sale. So often we saw in our previous chapter with different adverbs that come after the verb. Okay, un peu sale. Sale is dirty. So his room is often a little dirty and disorganized. A little dirty and disorganized? Maybe more than that. Okay, il laisse tout par terre. So il laisse means to leave something. Okay, tout is everything, and par terre is on the ground. Terre is also the word for earth, la terre. Okay, so we can use the word terre to refer to the earth itself, to the dirt outside in the ground, and even to the floor. Okay, et vous, comment est votre chambre? En ordre ou en désordre? So how is your room? Is it in order or is it disorganized? All right. And finally, we'll look at the colors. Okay, so de quelle couleur est votre tapis? Oh, de quelle couleur is asking what color or which color. Et votre tapis is your rug. De quelle couleur sont vos murs? Which color are your walls? Voici des adjectifs pour indiquer la couleur de quelque chose. So here are the adjectives to indicate the color of something. Okay, so we have all the different colors, and I'll just name them here, and you can kind of listen to them and practice pronouncing them. Okay, so the first color we see here is yellow, jaune. Red is rouge. Blue is bleu. And notice starting here with blue that if there is a feminine form to that color, they go ahead and show you that the E would go at the end, depending on what it's describing. Okay, the color for green is vert. But if it's feminine, then it's going to be pronounced verte. Okay, the color for black is noir. Okay, the feminine form is pronounced in the same way, even with the E on the end. Gray is gris, or the feminine form grise. White is blanc in the masculine. But when we make it feminine, we add HE and it becomes blanche, which is a woman's name too, like Blanche. Okay, the feminine or masculine form of purple would be violet, and the T is silent. If we're referring to something feminine, it's going to become violette. Okay, the rest of the colors we see down here are not going to change. Whether they describe something masculine, something feminine, they're going to stay the same. So the first one is orange. And then for pink, we have rose. For beige, it's almost exactly the same, right? It's beige, so the pronunciation changes a little bit. And finally, for brown, we have marron. Marron. Okay, so that is a little bit about les meubles et les couleurs. And in the next video, video 8, video 8, we will learn about la place de l'adjectif. So we'll look at more of a grammar topic in the next video. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Bonne nuit.